CoastLife, we've introduced you to the Parker Group. Rachel and Dustin Parker, we've had on the show a number of times. Yeah. Always wonderful to have them. But the Parker Group is so much more. They're such a great team. Yes. And we're going to introduce you to another member of the Parker Group. Kate Lewis is joining us on the CoastLife couch today. How are you, Kate?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great. We're doing well.
Thanks for coming.
So we hear that you were the top producer at Parker Group for the month of October.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's incredible.
What goes into being the top producer?
Yeah.
You just work hard.
Yeah.
Keep calling people. Keep helping your clients. Pretty much hard work and grit is kind of what we do at the Parker Group.
Yeah.
Incredible. Awesome. And I know that just being in real estate in general can be difficult because the market is always changing, right? And you can't predict the future as hard as you try. Right now, it's been a big topic of conversation, is especially new buyers. Yeah. They are scared of the market. So what advice do you have just right now with the current market for new buyers especially?
I work a lot with new buyers, first-time home buyers. I love them so much. They need a lot of hand-holding. They need a lot of compassion. Advice for them is just don't give up. The first step is always talking to a realtor, talking to a lender.
Yeah, awesome. We know we're also in sort of a time of high interest rates, which can also be really scary, especially for maybe those first-time home buyers, and maybe they don't even really know how interest rates work that well. Yeah. How do you put buyers at ease?
So interest rates are a very big topic. I think a lot of people right now still see the interest rates that were COVID rates, so to speak. Those were very low. We're never really going to see that again. But looking at history, where we're at around 7.5, it's really not that high. So putting people at ease with that, I focus on what can you afford, your monthly payment, especially if I'm working with first-time home buyers. That's always a goal of mine. When people are paying their mortgage, I want them to be like, thank you, Kate, not like, oh, I'm broke. You know? So those are things that I tend to focus on with the rates. There's also options for buyers with rates. I first and foremost send them to a local lender that I prefer. Those local lenders are fantastic, and I'll explain why. But a lot of times when buyers are looking at rates, they tend to find those .com lenders, which they're promising lower rates. And they're like, hey, I found this rate. It's fantastic. This is where I want to go. Using those .com lenders is not beneficial. The reason the rate is low is there's a cost, and it's typically hidden. So it's either you're working with a lender, like a .com lender, that's not going to give you the quality of service that you need, or not even pre-qualify you all the way, which is scary when you're putting in offers. So I always send my buyers to a preferred lender, a local lender that knows the area, that will sit down face-to-face with someone and talk about the rates and our options. Another thing is buying down rates. It's an option. So even if you have like an 8, you can buy down your rate as a buyer. Lenders will explain that and kind of give you an idea of cost, but what I've seen it to be about $3,000 to $5,000.
And something else that we've been hearing that's worrying buyers, not just the interest rates, but they're saying kind of a low inventory. So why is it so important to work with a realtor to find homes, especially when you might think there's not a lot on the market?
It's very true. We still do have a lot of low inventory right now. And since I do work with a lot of buyers that are first-time home buyers, generally that price point is between like $200 to $350. And when you have that, it's a nice house, a move-in ready home, you have 10 buyers that see the one home hit the market. So that causes a lot of multiple offer situations, which causes buyers to then have to give things up as far as seller's assistance and maybe even waive their inspections and things like that. So with that low inventory, I kind of do a little extra for my buyers, and it's been very successful. I do door knocking. So it's literally what it sounds. I'm at your door. Hi, sorry I bothered you. I have a client interested in your neighborhood. Would you be interested in selling? And a lot of times people are not, but every once in a while I have the person that's like, you know, I'm thinking about it. It gives me the opportunity to then introduce my buyer directly to a seller and then solidify the sale. I've been successful with that twice, especially with one buyer. He's my absolute favorite buyer. He was a veteran. So being that he had a VA loan, a lot of sellers didn't want to deal with that. It's a little bit harder as far as appraisals and the house condition and stuff. Even just calling. Everyone hates cold calling, and on both ends. I hate to be the one cold calling, and then I'm sure everyone's like, oh, who's this number? You know, but just circle dialing, kind of narrowing down. Let's say it's Milton and my clients like a certain side of Milton. Okay, then I'll circle dial that area and just same questions. Have you had any thoughts of selling? I do have an interested buyer who, since I've put them with a good lender, is pre-approved and can settle in 30 days. You know, so I think that goes a long way with low inventory. And then just also keeping up with your clients, letting them know that it's going to get better. Spring's always coming, or just hanging in there with their first-time buyers is kind of important to keep them on board so that they don't give up. It can be intimidating.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you're giving a lot of people a lot of peace of mind right now who
Yeah.
maybe
Absolutely.
don't have a house on the market or they're considering.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, even on the seller side, prepping sellers too.
Yeah.
But if they're getting on the market, yes, you could have multiple offers, but what's going to come in is buyers that need help. And I think realtors, our group, other realtors I've seen are doing a great job with prepping their sellers, knowing that we're going to need to help these buyers just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Kate, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us. I mean, I think there's always, Parker Group is always so informative, but I think even more so, you can see how much you guys care at the forefront of everything that you do. And it's awesome to hear. So thanks again for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. This was great.
And maybe you have already found your dream home, but it needs a little bit of fixing up here and there. We're going to stop in and check in with Paul Davis to see what's on the docket for any remodels that you have coming down the line on the way. So stick around.
This segment of CoastLife was brought to you by the Parker Group.